shove some paperwork at me when I don't have my glasses. I don't even know what it says.
You have glasses.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm not sure, but I think I've just agreed to,
You're
whatever.
fine. Trust me, we wouldn't do anything terrible to you.
No, you're my friend. I know that.
I love you.
I love you too. We have a mutual admiration society that we don't let anybody else in.
It's been so
People
nice.
want in, but fuck them.
Fuck them. It's been so nice having you run the store, man. I got to tell you, it's really fun.
Yeah, it's great having you around too, man. It's our little home base up there. It's a fucking hoot.
It is, right? It's like you work on everything there and then venture forth.
Right? Yeah.
It's a spot.
Yeah, I'm trying to, I've just got this big quandary now whether to even do another special or what it would do for me. And, Netflix is offering me money, but they're not offering me big, huge money. They're offering me regular money. And,
You're trying to figure out if you want to.
yeah, it takes me, I'm not like some comics, some comics just spit out an hour a year, and I don't, it takes me 3 years to write a new record, but it's good, but it's, but it takes me forever to do it. I'm just not that prolific, I guess, anymore.
That's the big debate with comedians. Like, how much time should you wait? And Tom Papa and I were just talking about it, and I talked about it with Burr and with Louis C.K. and a bunch of different guys. And Louis is doing like one a year for a while, but he stopped doing that. I think he kind of agrees now that when you do one a year, it's almost like it's a special full of like adolescent premises.
Yeah. Yeah, and I've always found that my stuff ripens well, on the vine if I leave it there, if I pick it too early. I used to do a bit that was on my last album, and the punchline's not even on the album. The punchline I wrote later, which was, it's about my wife buying me a bicycle, thinking I might ride it for, health reasons, and it's for sale. And if you're looking for a bicycle, it's a great deal. It's got 750 yards on it. It was a demo when I bought it. It had 350 yards already on it, but I put the other 400 yards on it myself. That was the whole joke. Now, here's the punchline. And if you'd like to buy the bicycle, just go to my house in Beverly Hills, and it's 400 yards from there. So I didn't even have the punchline. I don't even know what I thought was funny about the other part, but when I went back and listened to it, I'm like, I could start doing that bit again because they still don't know how it ends if I wanted to.
Mitch Hedberg did that. He had a bit on his album, and he goes, "This is a bit from my old album." And he does the bit. He goes, "This is the part I left out."
Oh, really?
And this is the new punchline. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a funny thing, development of material. Like, you're the only one who really knows when it's done. And sometimes you'll have something. I've had bits that I didn't put on specials that I was doing. I was like, this thing is it's not ready. And then maybe 2 specials later, I'll stick it in somewhere.
Right. Yeah, so I don't know, that Netflix wants an hour. I really think Netflix specials should be 30 minutes. I really do. Because I would do a 30-minute special and not burn an hour of material on it. And I go back. I watched yours the other day, which was great, and I watched the Ali Wong's special, and it was just long. It's just long. An hour's a long time for a special, and as much as I was impressed by Ali, and I still am impressed by Ali, but I'm impressed with what I see in the club.
Right.
When I go back and watch her special, I see what kind of confidence that brought her, that success of that thing, and made her a better comic. She really has a great, even better presence on stage, and works even slower and more commanding.
Got it.
That's what I learned from watching it was, that kind of success makes you better.
Yeah, for sure. For her, she's sort of emerging right now.
Right.
She's one of those people that people start to talk about. She's very, very
funny. No.
She's really cool too. Really nice person, but she's just nasty and funny on stage.
Right. Yeah.
Fucking vicious.
And I don't know her because now she's got a kid, so as soon as she gets off stage, she's out of there. So I talked to her on stage a couple of times when she was bringing me up.
Yeah. Yeah, she's
that's
very
how
friendly.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'd like an hour. I like a good hour special. Maybe you just don't want to.
I'm cheap.
Just don't want to do it.
I'm cheap. I don't want to do the work, man. It's so daunting to put my last special was an hour and 20 minutes. And that's just cause that's how long it was. And when I sold it, I'm like, I don't want to go edit it. If it works like that, you can have the whole thing. And then I'm standing there naked. I could have gotten away with 48 minutes. Because it was on television, and nobody saw it on TV because it was on CMT. Nobody watches fucking CMT. So nobody's even heard the last album, and I don't do it. You know.
Isn't country music television? Isn't that real popular? Was it? Did they
Not-
call it country music
Come
television? No,
on.
they just call it CMT. But it started out as.
Yeah, I think it still stands for country music television.
But they're trying to do a bunch of other shit now too, right?
They try to do.
Oh, wow.
They did I had a special with them once a year, and I would just have to come up with 15 minutes, and which was doable. You know, that I could actually put on TV. Most of it I shouldn't even put on TV, but that was great. It was the salute to the troops thing, and raise money and awareness for good stuff, and then they quit doing it, and somehow bought my special, and but so I just if I do a bit from it, it kills like nobody's heard it. So I really don't think anybody really heard it. It only sold 12 copies, so those people,
12? No.
yeah, they I have no idea how many.
We were talking about that before the show about like buying things. Like nobody buys comedy albums anymore. They just don't make any money.
Right.
Like none.
Yeah, and you know what? And I just started watching stuff on Netflix the other day because I just wanted to watch some of the specials of some of the people I knew up there to see what they were doing, what they were working on. And now, why would you buy a fucking record? You can just flip it over to Netflix and watch it.
Well, I like listening to shit in my car. I like when people release things on iTunes.
Yeah, did that? My best comedy album
Come on, that sucks.
story, and I don't mean this to be mean or anything else, but it was. I was watching the record sales because my records was selling, and then Dane Cook comes in and he just blows by me, and I'm like, who's this guy? Because I'm not a LA guy, I'm a road guy. We don't know what's going on out here, nor do we give a shit.
Come on,
And,
bullshit.
But I thought, well, it must. So I was at a bookstore and I saw it, and I thought, well, I want to buy it and see what it's like. So literally, I listened to it on the way home. When I got home, I pulled it out, threw it in the trash. Not to be mean, but just because I don't keep things I don't use. Right. And I knew I wouldn't listen to it again, and I wasn't going to give it to somebody else to listen to, and so I don't need it anymore. We've run our thing, and not to say anything bad about Dang, because plenty of bad things have been said, but I was so uninto it that I'm like, if that's what they're doing out there, then they're getting away with murder because those aren't punchlines. I'm sorry to tell you.
Well, that was a weird time. He locked into some weird thing where he sort of appealed to young girls. Like he did comedy designed for young girls. No, that's not you. It's not me either.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of us.
Well, he had that fascinating stage presence too, and just really walk on stage and take command of anything. I don't know if he can still do it, but at one time I'd watch him and I'm like, you like him or not, if you're a comic, you could probably learn something from watching him. As a young comic, just walk up there and start doing it, stare him down, don't be timid, and he was great stage presence, but the content, I was like, why? What? I don't get it. Why don't we? But, and now I guess it's turned around on him. I mean, it's not, I don't know.
Well, it turned around on him when that whole Louis C.K. plagiarism thing came out, and there was a lot of shit going on.
Was he supposed to have stole something from Louis?
Oh, yeah, like a lot of things, yeah.
Before Louis was famous?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's when it's easy.
Yeah. Yeah, Louis was...
Get them while they're young.
Well, Louis wasn't young. Louis was older than him. But Louis, he made it first. He broke through first. Right. And then it became a giant controversy. Like, Louis even addressed it on his television show. Like, he had Dane on as a guest on his show.
That.
Yeah, and they kind of went over it. It was very weird. Like, Louis he's so nice. Like, the way he handled it was so nice. Like, he wasn't mean about it at all.
Right. He's not like you. And Mencia.
Well, that was a different story.
That was just the best thing ever.
That was a different...
You had every comic in the country just cheering your fucking name, man. Go get him, Joe. And you're such a badass. What's he going to do? Slap you? You can either listen to it or he can beat you up or whatever you want. What are you going to do?
That was the worst I've ever seen. I've seen plagiarists before. I've seen guys get away with stealing people's shit, but I've never seen someone that blatant. He was a bully about it. Like, he would do your shit. He would go on in front of you and do your shit. Like, he would bring you up at the store and do your closing bit before he brought you up.
Man.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things like a serial killer wants to get caught,
You think that's what it is?
Yeah, I do. I really do.
Well, the only thing that matters to me really is, or the thing I'm most proud of is that I'm respected by my peers. That I didn't get here in some fucking cheap way. I did my fucking 30 years and in 9 million clubs and 12,000 shows. And if I didn't have that, I don't know if I'd be able to show my face around here.
No, you wouldn't.
That's all there is, I think.
I think for people like us, it's probably the most important thing because there's so few of us. I mean, is there 1,000 working comedians? Is there even 1,000? I mean, there might not even be 1,000.
Yeah. It's a tiny subculture.
Tiny. And out of that subculture, maybe 300 of them I want to see.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Right? So you're one of 300 people out of 300 million. That's a tiny amount. Fuck yeah, Ron White. Look at you.
Yeah. I'm getting buff. I'm getting buff just sitting here.
You got fired up right there.
I sure did.
I wish we brought your tequila, man.
I'm glad I really, if I would have, I'd have sat here and drank it with you, and then I'd have been, now I had to get that Range Rover back to back to LA.
That's what Uber's for.
Yeah.
That's some good goddamn tequila. I love the fact that you sell your own tequila.
Well, you know what? We wouldn't have done it, but the Revesquez family that makes it wouldn't sell it here, and so we just pestered them because we couldn't buy it, and until my brother-in-law did, and he pestered them for 4 years, and they finally said, okay, you can bring it over.
Do you want to sell it in Mexico?
They only sell it in Mexico. In Mexico they sell it for 3 times what I sell it for here. And they only sell it in the resort cities, people coming off those boats, and it's the best tequila that most liquor stores will ever touch, and so it's called the Gift of God over there.
You.
They were I don't know how to say it. My wife's Spanish. She's Mexican, so she can tell you.
Does she speak fluent?
Oh yeah.
Does she get mad at you and speak in Spanish?
Come on.
No, but what she does do is she's a voiceover artist as well as a singer, so she can do any accent there is, and she has different wigs for different accents, and she lets me fuck them all.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, it's fucking great, man. It's fucking great.
Come on.
For them specifically, they just show up.
Oh, what an interesting little situation.
Yeah, one of them is named Donna, and she's a bank teller from Denton, Texas. And she's sloppy, man. Just sloppy blowjobs, and it's different.
Donna's off the chart. Is she your favorite?
There's a little French girl. There's a little girl from Japan. I like them all. I like to mix them up. Don't ever want to say that Donna gives a better blowjob than Margot, because it's technically not true.
Right.
But she's still like, oh really? I'm like, oh really?
You.
Yeah, it's you, honey.
How could you say that? Yeah, how could you get upset at you? She's getting jealous of herself.
Right.
That's ridiculous. But it can happen.
Why? Just because she spits on your dick?
Whoa.
Yeah. Okay, you say that on the...
Yeah, definitely can.
Okay, good.
For sure. Yeah, some people are into that. The spitting on the dick thing. It's just like, whoa, we are getting dirty for sure.
Puh. Yeah, it's the, people that can't afford lube.
When do you think that started, the spitting on the dick? Because I don't think they did that in the 80s.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I never saw it.
I think YouPorn brought it around, brought it into the light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you see variety instantaneously, like you don't have to venture forth into the weird sections. Like if you're in a video store back in the old days, you had to go through those beads.
Right.
You and I remember those.
Oh yeah.
It was either saloon doors or beads.
Right.
We had to go into the section of the video store that had the porn, and you always felt so full of shame when you were wandering through it.
Like, oh man, nobody does this but me. But now you know.
But at least back then, no one had a phone with a camera, so you couldn't take a video. Look, I'm watching Ron White. Go to the fucking dirty section. Look at you,
Is that a
dirty
lump in his
bastard.
pants?
Oh, look at this fucking
Is
sick
that gay
prick.
porn?
He's looking at the gag stuff. He likes people to gag.
I do.
But that's the thing now. It's like you can go to any one of those websites and have the porn on it, and you can just keep scrolling. Like, oh, check this out, and you get it instantaneously, and it's free.
Right, but that's what I like about YouPorn is that I don't have to worry about seeing something I don't want to see. I'm such a raging heterosexual, and I tried one time. I was in a hotel room. They had gay porn. I'm like, I'm going to watch some gay porn, see if it does anything but click. Nothing, not a damn thing. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. This is fucking horrible. And I guess fucking some people are just straight.
Well, women like dick. So, I mean, it makes sense that some men like dick. I get it.
I do too, but I didn't get it when it just doesn't,
That fucking story that you're telling on stage now, the story that you told about the prostitute situation.
Yeah. The one you encouraged me to do.
You
It's
had
so
to
funny.
tell that. We were crying.
I'll tell our listeners. Now they're our listeners.
It's everybody's.
The Joe and Ron show. Thank you. I'll be here every Thursday at 1:30. But it was true. I lost my virginity when I was 18 years old to a girl, a prostitute in Tijuana, Mexico, who was overweight, and her teeth had no general direction or color, but she was well within my budget. And, but I got stationed at Pearl, and I found out after a while, once you've been on this one part of Oahu, on Hotel Street, these really cute girls would jump in your car and blow you for $5. And it's like the best deal I've ever even fucking heard of. I mean, I was like there twice a day, you know, and I was there for 8 months, and then like, 6 months ago I was watching this documentary on transvestites, and they started talking about the transvestite scene on Hotel Street on Oahu. Been there for 55 years. And I'm like, no, I let 150 dudes suck my dick. Like, what's the record?
What's the record before you find out?
Right.
I wonder what the record is.
I don't know, but God, I have to be close. You know?
I've dodged that bullet, but I've come close a gang of times. I think I've dodged that bullet.
Yeah.
If I hadn't dodged the bullet, kudos to
that
whoever
was the thing.
pretended to be a girl.
Apparently, a tongue is a tongue and a tooth is a tooth, because you can't tell man mouth from woman mouth. Now, if it would have been a hand job, I'd have been going, "Hey, you're a plumber, dude. Get that hand off my cock."
Thick gorilla hands.
Jesus. What do you think I am?
Yeah, and I would imagine that somebody who has a dick probably knows how to work it.
I guess.
Right?
I tell you what, these girls had quit working me twice a day, 45 seconds. I was in my little Datsun B210, headed back to the ship.
Do you say girls with air quotes?
With air quotes, girls? Yeah, well, I still don't like to think of them as dudes, you know. In my mind, I don't let myself go. They're still hot little girls. Not little girls. These were fully developed men with tits.
They had tits?
They did. And I was always wondering, let me pose, you know, that let me get some titty. But you start going down there where the junk is, and they were like swatting your hand away. Now that should have been, maybe a flag. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, now you know.
Yeah.
It's one of those
right.
things.
Yeah, right.
So you were in the Navy? Is that what you were doing? Yeah. How long?
I wasn't in real long. I just wasn't cut out for it. I had the wrong mouth for it. I stayed in trouble. I didn't did a lot of drugs. And, I just...
Come on.
They discharged me. An honorable discharge for medical conditions from the Naval Drug Rehabilitation Center in Miramar, California.
Oh, wow. So what did you have to get rehabilitated for?
Well, I had actually never seen drugs till I got to the Naval Drug Rehabilitation Center in Miramar, California. I mean, everybody had drugs. I was positive for heroin on a Westpac, but so were 8 other people on the ship. And then when we ate a ton of acid, it was 75, and I was 18 years old. And I was off the hook.
Come the fuck on.
And they just actually. In my hearing,
come the fuck on.
The commander of our base called me a hole in our national line of defense. I'm like, God, that's horrible. What's worse than that? I wonder. Nothing.
That seems a little exaggerating.
Yeah, like when we're playing Red Rover,
Relax.
Yeah.
Hole in our national line of defense. We weren't even at war in '75, right? Wasn't it Vietnam?
Tail end of the Vietnam War. Yeah.
Wow. Did you join or did you get drafted?
No, there was no draft when my father drafted me. I got kicked out of high school, and they weren't going to put me back in this time. And so I was 17, and I kind of had my life mapped out because I worked washing dishes at this huge restaurant called Lynchburg Crossing in close to Pasadena, Texas, and right on the channel. Gigantic place, unbelievable, and served family style, all kinds of seafood and chicken and stuff. It was really popular. But they didn't go hire people to wash dishes. They would go bail these drunks out of jail, and they had bunkhouses in the back, and the dishwashers would sleep back there. They'd drink all the half drinks that came back, and crash there. So I really, at 17 years old, I was thinking, well, I could, when I'm 17, I could join the, or 16, I could join the Merchant Marines at 17, which was wrong. And then I worked there till I retired, and then I go wash dishes until I die in that bunkhouse.
Jesus Christ.
Like the old drunk that used to roll his joints. We couldn't roll joints very good, and this guy could. And we came in there one day just dead as he could be.
Isn't it funny when he was dead?
Dead.
Ooh, of?
Cirrhosis. I mean, these guys were bad. I mean, bad booze hounds. But, you know, pretty good dishwashers.
Isn't it funny when you look back in your life, and getting kicked out of high school, all the trouble you were in, getting kicked out of the Navy, getting blown by a bunch of dudes accidentally. It's all the recipes of being a great comic, but nobody ever looks at it that way.
Right? Yeah. You don't have some of that stuff in there. What are you gonna write about? You know.
Yeah, well, that's. I mean, it's almost like you have to come up to everybody who's a fuck up and go, look, I know you're not fitting in here, but there's a place where you do.
Right.
Like there's a place where you do.
Figure it out.
There's a fucking whole clan of us.
Yeah.
You just gotta figure out how to do it.
I'm telling you, Joe. The first time I walked on stage, I literally went to myself, I'm a fucking comedian. Why didn't somebody tell me? I could have avoided a bunch of that other stuff and just started. I was 29 when I figured it out.
I was 21. Same feeling. Right after I did it, I was like, this is it. I found it. This is it.
This is the one that works.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't good. I knew I wasn't good. I knew I was like, there's a lot of work to be done. But I'm like, this could be my job. I
didn't think I'd ever do it professionally or anything like that. I just knew I was a comic. You know, I knew I was a comedian. And but I never ever saw all this fame and fortune shit coming. I mean, I never really sat around asking the universe for it. I never thought it would happen. Even though I watched it happen to Foxworthy, you know, he biggest selling comic of all time by a lot. Sold more records than Pryor and Cosby combined. And he blew up standing right next to me, but I never gave it 1 second of thought that it would happen to me.
Well, when the Blue Collar Tour kicked off, and then it took off for you, how old were you?
I was, let's see, probably 45 or so, 45 or 46.
So you're just working as a comic up until 45, and then boom.
Right, 16 years, clubs, 50 weeks a year, doing 9 shows a week. So, which is how you get good at this.